All right, welcome everyone to another edition of Bust Up Boys. I'm Zach.
And I'm Zahran.
And we're your hosts. All right, today we'll start with some news around the industry, and then go to some movie reviews and maybe a little bit of like local politics. We'll see.
I have thoughts.
Yeah, Zahran's thoughts, and we have some firsthand experience with it from last night. But to start off with, we'll talk about Emmy nominations. Zahran, what's your reaction? What's your take?
To be honest, I think they're fairly what I would expect. The weirdest thing I've seen is that The Bear is still being nominated as a comedy. And it just reminds me back to when what's it called? It reminds me back to when everyone was like, why is The Martian a comedy? For I think it was the Golden Globes. So very similar thoughts there. For you want to just go down the list of categories and see what we think?
Let's do it. Let me pull it up. I'm watching the Bear right now, and yeah, I gotta say I'm not laughing a ton. It's like a really stressful show, so like, I'm more just like, holy shit, what's going to happen? Unless like LOLing at the show.
Yep.
Okay, so the first category I see is Outstanding Comedy Series.
Mm-hmm.
We have The Bear, What We Do in the Shadows, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Abbott Elementary, Hacks, Only Murders in the Building, Palm Royale, and Reservation Dogs. You see any of those, or?
I watched What We Do in the Shadows. I watched
Only
Murders. I watched The Bear. That's pretty much it. I'm very surprised to see Palm Royale get nominated. I didn't know it was that good, so maybe I should give it a look. Reservation Dogs, is that related to the movie from Q, Tarantino?
So actually it's not. It's like a play on the name, but Reservation Dogs, it's like a series, I think this is the last season, about these kids on a reservation who are Native American. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like about what it's like growing up as a Native American in present day.
Gotcha. Oh, that's kind of cool. I'll give it a look. I love What We Do in the Shadows. I think we watched the movie together back in San Francisco, right?
Way back in the day. Yeah, so I never saw the show, but the movie was dope and just very funny.
Yeah,
so the show
it's a like continuation.
Okay, cool.
It's a continuation of the show. It follows a different family, like different household kind of thing, different family. But yeah, it follows a different house, and it's very good. And there's a lot of good surprise guest stars as well. It carries over the humor that what's his name brings to the table. The director
Taika Waititi, whoever his name is. Cool.
So I haven't watched the most recent season, but the first two seasons are really good. So gotcha. I'll give it a shot. I don't know if it's like a show that's kind of run its course, and then like they're kind of finally giving them that nomination that they deserve, or it's still good. Only Murders in the Building as well. I didn't like the newest season that much as I liked the first two. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Curb feels like they gave Curb it's finale, so they're kind of giving its flowers kind of thing.
Is this actually the final season? Like, did they say that, or? Okay. Gotcha. Okay, cool.
It's definitely the last season, and I know he's been saying that for a while, but I'm fairly sure this is the last season for him.
Gotcha.
Especially the way they ended it. It was very similar to the way Seinfeld ended as well. So he kind of doubled down on how he likes to end shows. So
interesting, amazing.
But yeah, so comedy series, I think The Bears is gonna dominate that. There's no question about it, I think.
You don't think like Abbott Elementary is like one slice of America, The Bears like another slice of America. Those seem like really like speaking to like this country, speaking to like society in this moment. You don't think Abbott Elementary could sneak through or anything like that?
I'm gonna be very, very honest. I never watched Abbott Elementary. I don't even know what Abbott Elementary is about.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's about a teacher. It's like a school in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So it kind of has like some themes The Bear has, like working class Americans. It is more of like an actual comedy. So like I will say, like maybe match the category a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
But people seem to really like it, and it seems to really like highlight. It's kind of like The Office and like white collar jobs. It, like really highlights some of these absurd parts of the job. And Abbott Elementary is like that for school teachers in America. So I wouldn't sleep on Abbott Elementary. Like that might be my sleeper pick.
That's a sleeper. Okay, I can see that. I feel like if they'll give it to him because they're like, the Bear's not a comedy. Why are you in this?
Yeah.
I just feel like the Bear's so good that like I don't know how anyone else can win. Really, is this how I'm thinking right now? Drama series. I have The Crown, Fallout, The Gilded Age, Morning Show again. Wow. Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Wow. Shogun, Slow Horses, and Three Body Problem. Ooh, three body problem.
Wow, okay.
I read it and then
I was supposed to pay off someone. How much did that one cost?
That was probably part of the budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the show wasn't bad. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say like I was like bored by it. There was definitely good episodes and bad episodes. I'm just surprised that it was nomination worthy. Oh wow, wait. You know what I don't see on the list is Loki. I don't know if you watched Loki season 2.
Would that be more of like a comedy, or do you think that's a drama?
That's a drama. That's a drama for sure.
Okay, gotcha.
That's surprising. Really? That was a good show. It was a very good show.
I'm surprised to see Fallout here, but people like Fallout.
Fallout. I think Fallout deserves it definitely more than Three Body Problem does.
Okay, fair.
It was definitely Fallout felt like what Fallout felt like a better version of the Star Wars sequel trilogy.
That's amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm sure there's overlap in like who might enjoy it.
Yep. Like I played the games. I played Fallout 3, Game 1. I played Fallout 3 and I played some of Fallout 4. So I definitely see the resemblance there, and I like how they built the world and like they're very true to the world and stuff. So I give it props for that. Staying true to the material while also, having its own voice. So great movie for them. Have you watched any of the other shows on the list?
So I've seen the first couple episodes of Shogun.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't finish it, but my friends who've seen it all love it.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I think that's maybe a favorite, maybe. But then I see The Crown there, and like The Crown, like I'm not sure it's as good, but it had a finale. I think it's one of those shows where it's like maybe the voters just like give it like a here's farewell and just give it the award. So I'm trying to decide if like Shogun or The Crown is going to be it. Slow Horses, like I've never seen, but I know Gary Oldman is in it, and like I love Gary Oldman. He's obviously like a fan favorite. So I don't think that'll win, but I think it's a cool show that more people should see, or like I would like to see more of it. And then I don't know anything about Gilded Age. So I can't really comment on that. Mr. and Mrs. Smith is interesting. I guess Prime also had to get a show in the category. I've really heard like mixed things about the show, but it seems like an enjoyable show to watch. But I don't know if it has the chops to beat Shogun or The Crown.
Did you notice one thing, by the way?
I'm looking at it again. No,
not a single network show.
Wow, are you serious?
Yeah,
I guess you're right. Holy cow. Yeah, that just goes to show like streaming is where it's at now.
Yep.
For drama, I'm gonna go with The Crown. Yeah,
I'm gonna say Shogun.
Nice.
Because I heard the same stuff about it. It's just weird to talk about it because like I didn't watch it, so I really want to, but I haven't. And then for comedy, you said Abbott.
I'm gonna go Abbott. I'm taking like the underdog picks here. Go big or go home. Yeah.
I'll give you 2-1 odds.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And then I'll go with.
You go in The Bear?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think this was the worst season of The Bear. I'm only on episode 7, so I haven't seen all the way through. But we can talk about this another time. But I just feel like there's too much filler in this season.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, we can talk about it when we
okay.
We could probably have that in another episode.
Gotcha.
Best Actress? Do you see Best Actress?
Jennifer Aniston, Morning Show. Carrie Coon for The Gilded Age, Mayor Erskine, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Anna Sawai, Shogun, Imelda Staunton, The Crown, Reese Witherspoon, The Morning Show.
I have not watched a single one of these, so I can't. I'm gonna go with Carrie Coon because she deserved it for The Leftovers, and she never got it.
Gotcha. I'm gonna say, breaking new ground. Let's go Anna Sawai, Shogun.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Best actor. We got Idris Elba, Hijack, Donald Glover, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Walton Goggins, Fallout, Gary Oldman, Slow Horses, Hiroyuki Sanada. Oh wow, yeah,
He's the John Wick guy.
Yeah, and then Dominic West, The Crown. I'm going Sanada on my end.
Okay, you're pretty quick on that one.
I didn't even need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Gary Oldman.
Okay.
He has a lot of friends. I feel like he's won a lot of awards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's won this particular award, so I think he has a shot.
Nice. I'm very surprised Idris Elba got nominated. It wasn't like he did a bad job, but it was the show didn't really feel, it was a very dad show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it wasn't like a words bait or anything like that. No. It wasn't like a super dramatic role. It's just him in it's basically like an action movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. Agreed. Yeah, like there was no. Yeah, very surprised to see that on the list.
We can do lead actress comedy.
Yep, just got to
yeah. So I see Kristen Wiig, Palm Royale, John Smart, Hacks, Maya Rudolph, Loot, Selena Gomez, Only Mirrors in the Building, Ayo Edebiri, The Bear, and Quinta Brunson, Abbott Elementary.
I'll let you go first.
Okay, cool. I'm stealing your pick again. The Bear, Ayo Edebiri.
Nice.
She's just like a fan favorite. She's like so great in the show. Yeah, sorry, Google Home is going off.
I've noticed that she's been in a lot of press lately, probably for this Emmy push.
She directed I think what may be the best episodes of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if that is brownie points for being a director. She directed Napkins, which is like the backstory on one of the characters of the Bear. So yeah, I'm going her. What's your take?
Oh,
it's kind of hard to choose.
I'm gonna go Kristen Wiig, just because it's Kristen Wiig and you can never go wrong with her. So Kristen Wiig, Palm Royale. Never watched it. Let's see how it goes.
It's good to see her still around because she had what's it called, the Wedding Crashers? Not Wedding Crashers, Bridesmaids. Yeah, and then she was the bad guy in Wonder Woman, which is kind of a weird role. And
oh my god, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because Pedro Pascal was the main bad person, but then she was the side bad person, which is already not a great place to start off with. And then I just didn't see her after that, so I hope she's doing well. And it seems like Palm Royale must be okay if it's getting so many nominations,
right? Or they got a lot of money.
Yeah, true.
Let's see. I'm just looking up big titles here. Best limited. Oh, we didn't go best actor, right? Best.
Yeah, let's do that.
Which one is it? All right, so we have. I'm gonna butcher all of these names. Jesus. Lionel Boyce for The Bear. Paul Downs for Hacks.
Oh, cool. You're doing supporting actor.
Oh shoot, what was I doing? Oh, my bad. Best actor. Oh, Matt Berry, What We Do in the Shadows. Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Steve Martin, Only Murders in the Building. Martin Short, Only Murders in the Building. Jeremy Allen White, The Bear. Oh, okay. And then DeFaro Wunatai, Reservation Dogs.
Nice.
I don't know if I just said it right. I'm so sorry if I didn't say it wrong. I'll go here with Larry David, just because of the crowning, giving him the roses for his end. But this is a stacked, just in terms of name, that's probably the most high-powered names I've seen.
It's a tough category, and Larry Dave's the OG, so I think that's a smart choice. I'm gonna go The Bear again, Jeremy Allen White. If you're not taking it, I'll take it.
Nice. Yeah, that feels like might be the move, but I feel like maybe they'll give it to him as a guest. I know, as his finale.
And we'll talk more when we do the bear, but like I feel like his character was like more annoying this season, so I wonder if that hurts his chances.
I agree with
the awards. Yeah, but we'll see.
Let's see, I was gonna skip to best limited series.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Baby Reindeer, Fargo, Lessons in Chemistry, Ripley, and then True Detective Night Country. Have you watched?
I saw one of these. What about you?
I watched two, Baby Reindeer and Fargo.
Okay, I saw True Detective.
Got you. Well, I've heard not great things about Night Country.
Yeah, so here's the deal. The first like half of the season is awesome. It's really enthralling. I think it probably matches like the first season. But then the second half of the season, it kind of goes off the rails. It like really jumps between different plot points. And then the ending, yeah, I don't think fans were like super duper happy with the ending. In fact, the OG showrunner was like shitting on it on Twitter, which is like not good to see. So yeah, I think it's worth watching, but like the first half is way stronger than the second half. So I'm not going to pick it for this award.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I watched Baby Reindeer and Fargo. Both were pretty good. I might give the edge to Fargo, but I could see Baby Reindeer winning it because how unique it was and just because of how popular it was as well. But I'm going to stick with Fargo for this.
Okay, I'll do Baby Reindeer, but I think you're right. Baby Reindeer feels almost like an underground phenomenon as opposed to like an award winner. But I'll take my chances. Maybe all the voters saw the Netflix sensation as well.
Right. That was a very interesting show. I don't even know how to describe it. It's very similar to End of the Effing World. I don't know if you watched that.
No, I didn't.
It was all very similar. And I think it's the creators of from the creators of that, but this was his debut. So I'm guessing they just put that because it's like very similar and it's both Netflix. So they're like, oh, from the creators, which is also Netflix, but I'm not sure. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Yeah.
You want to move on to what's next? What are we doing next? Acolyte finale. Okay. I can give you so the Acolyte finale, I guess I'll just give a whole season review rather than but because the beginning was very weak. The writing, like, very weak. Dialogue is terrible, and I think it's pretty bad all throughout. Maybe it got a little better near the end. The main character, who plays a son, I want to say, who was the main actor from Squid Games. He was really good. I think he is the highlight of the show. There's a second highlight as well, which is very shocking to see. Do you ever watch The Good Place?
I don't think I saw it. No.
Oh my God, there's a guy named it was Jason Mendoza from the show.
Okay.
But in The Good Place, but here he all of a sudden pops up and I'm like, whoa, what are you doing here? Like, he's a really funny comedy guy from The Good Place. To see him here in a very serious role was very surprising to see. But I think he was really good. And I think, the Squid Games guy was really good as well. The other actors, they were okay. Like, nothing to go crazy about. The lightsaber battles were really good. I think the prequels, I love the prequels with this choreography and everything, but it always felt like it was very like they're dancing rather than they're like fighting. You know, there's not a lot of aggression. And I think the excuse, the in-universe excuse was like, oh, they're so well crafted at this point in their careers that they don't really have that, like, everything is like a dance to them. Like, fighting is like a dance to them. Like, they're so well choreographed. This one, it still had a really good choreography, but you could feel like the visceralness in how they're fighting, which I really like. I also like they're bringing more and more martial arts into the shows. So like this guy's fighting without, like, he loses his lightsabers and like, I'm gonna throw fists right now, and like, you know. So that's very awesome to see.
Do you see Jedis doing MMA in the show? Like
similar, maybe a little bit of boxing, you know.
Is there a lightsaber battle in the octagon? Like, I want to see this.
But there's a lot of cool concepts here. I really liked the second half, especially. The first half was just really bad, though. It was really bad.
And Carrie-Anne Moss, like, she's out pretty quickly, right?
Yeah. I mean, all right. Spoilers moving forward. Carrie-Anne Moss dies in like the first 10 minutes of the show. I want to say.
Oh no!
Like you start the show and it's like, you know, like the Matrix where you have Trinity and she's going like, oh, this is gonna be a Trinity, you know, going crazy. They're gonna do like an homage to her. It's like, kind of they do, but she also dies in it basically.
I thought that was half the selling point. Is like Carrie-Anne Moss is like making a comeback, but I guess not.
Well, another thing I will say, there's a prequel episode, and she's kind of there throughout the entire prequel episode. So she's there, but it still doesn't hit as hard.
Yeah,
when she's dead for most of it.
Fair.
So yeah, they bring back a character. They bring back Yoda near the end to tease a second season, and they also bring back Darth Plagueis, who is a Sith Lord who trained the Emperor in the prequels, and basically who's in it through the entire the episode 1 through 9. So very cool to see the start of that and everything like that. The best way I can put this to summarize is that it's a better execution of the prequels, but the prequels are still so bad in terms of dialogue that it's not really much of a high bar.
Yeah.
But I liked it regardless. The woke, I don't know what was the whole wokeness about it. I still don't get it.
Yeah.
I think maybe because the main character is black. So maybe that's why they're like, oh, it's woke. Because I don't know. But outside of that, there's nothing to be like, there's no reason for people to think this is like a woke show or anything like that.
Yeah.
Bad show, I can agree with, especially the first half. But the second half, I really liked. Now, taking my Star Wars biases aside, I will say this is a 6 out of 10, possibly 5 out of 10 show, where the first half is like a 2 out of 10, and the second half is like a 7 out of 10. If you
with it, I feel like a lot of people would have just quit after a couple episodes.
Right. But it is actually one of the most watched Star Wars shows on Disney Plus. I think it's second to, or third to, Mandalorian and Andor, which was great show.
Right.
But I will say that if you enjoy lightsaber battles, good choreography there, and like visceralness, if you like a good mystery, and if you just like Star Wars lore in general, then you'll appreciate this show. You just have to get through the brutal dialogue, the very brutal, childish dialogue that they have in the show. Which
is, like you said, has always been an issue with Star Wars in general, especially the prequels, just like really bad dialogue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would say the only good dialogue was in episode 1 and episode 7 and 8 of the sequel trilogy, but I hate the sequel trilogy. But I'll give them that, like, the characters actually felt like characters. The characters here still feel a little wooden and stuff. So very cool to see. Very cool to see like how the downfall of the Jedi kind of starts. And like, so I liked it. I think it was a good show.
Very cool. And is this like the main Star Wars show for this year, or is there more Star Wars content coming out soon? Do we know that, or?
I think Ahsoka came out this year, no? Or was that last year?
That's a question. I'm not sure. It may have been last year.
I think it was last year.
Yeah. Ahsoka. Yeah, it's 2023.
Yep. Yeah. So I think this is the Star Wars show of this year. I liked it. It's not an amazing show. It's not going to show up in any Emmy nominations, but it's a good watch, especially if you're a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Rant over.
No. I love the rant, and it's cool to hear the whole show, because I know like last episode, I think we talked through just the beginning. You mentioned Dog was bad. You mentioned that Squig and Actor was a highlight, and so it seemed like that kind of carried through the whole way. But then the show got better in the second half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to go on to the trailer reaction to Gladiator 2?
Yeah, so first off, let me not bury the lead. Watch the trailer and then look at the comments on YouTube. It's like the funniest thing I've seen actually in the last couple of weeks on the internet, which is saying a lot because there's been a lot of memes around society, a lot of that stuff happening. But this is actually like the funniest, and it's one of those rare YouTube videos where there's literally like 50 amazing like LOL comments. So you should definitely watch it. So like, why is there so much like hubbub and like controversy around the trailer? So here's the thing. The trailer is 3 minutes. It's like a long trailer. It kind of gives away the whole movie. So that's like issue number one is they actually kind of give away the plot in the movie, which is an issue with the movies nowadays. I think there's some psychological research that shows that if people are familiar with the movie before they see it, they like it better. So I think some studios are just like, oh, let's just like put everything into the movie and see what happens. But then within the trailer, there's like a couple interesting choices that the creators make. One is that like they like have like the Coliseum, but it's flooded with water and there's sharks in the water. And so there's a question of like, wait, is this meant to be like an epic, like accurate Roman like movie? Or are they just saying, oh, like house rules? Now there's like sharks in the middle of Italy. It's just like going out there. You have this new character played by Denzel, who is kind of this shady like power broker, but he doesn't sound like a Roman. He has like the same accent and is like giving people high fives as if he's like straight out of like Training Day, which the comments had like a field day about. And then also the trailer uses like a Jay-Z song in the background.
I heard about that, yeah.
Which I think it's fine. I think they're just trying to get like a broad, diverse and hip group of people to like see the trailer. But also I think some people in the comments are like, making an emergency call to Hans Zimmer right now. Like, where is like the epic like Roman music in this movie? Like right now it's just Frank Ocean, Jay-Z. So I'm really curious about this movie. Paul Mescal is like the main character. He plays the son of I guess like the original character in Gladiator. This is like a movie that I don't know anyone's asking for, but I'm down to watch it. And Ridley Scott, to quote one of the comments, whenever Ridley Scott makes a movie, it's like God flips a coin, and half the time it's amazing, other half of the time
that's so
it's like Prometheus or whatever else he makes. So this is going to be a coin flip, but I'm hoping at least it's a good time. And again, if you want to laugh, watch the whole trailer, read the comments. But also, we were talking earlier before the podcast started. The trailer does give away a lot. So if you like going into movies blind, then I would skip the trailer in that case.
Yeah, just the background. We were talking about what we're gonna talk about in this, and you mentioned the Gladiator 2 trailer. Like, oh, I'll watch it. And then like I think I watched 40 seconds of it in front of you, and I'm like, all right, yeah. I'm in, but I don't want to watch this anymore. Yeah, I don't like that about movie trailers nowadays, and it's been happening for a while because what made me really, really stop watching movie trailers, or not movie trailers, or watch like the first like 30 seconds and be like, I'm good, is Batman versus Superman. I was really up for it, and I think in the trailer, the last trailer before the movie release, it was literally a play-by-play of what the movie was. So like you see Wonder Woman show up, it's like, whoa, Wonder Woman's in the show. You didn't know that before. In the movie, you don't know that. Apocalypse is in it. Was like, what? Apocalypse is in the movie now too. What is going on? And I'm just like, why did I watch this movie? Why did I watch this trailer? Like, it was so annoying. But yeah, did you know the original script for Gladiator 2, by the way?
No. Tell me, I missed this.
The original script for Gladiator 2, I think it was let's say Nick Cave, not Cage. We'll be talking about Nick Cage later. But
yeah,
he basically made a script where I think he goes to hell and he's in hell and he's basically fighting until he gets to the crucifixion, I want to say.
Okay.
I might be getting this wrong. I need to find this stuff here. Let me see if I can find it.
That sounds kind of badass. Like Roman mythology, like he's in Hades and battling Hades.
He was revived by the Roman gods and tasked with killing Jesus. And the
Wait,
original
what?
title for Gladiator 2 was Gladiator Christ Killer.
What? Is this real?
Yeah.
That's insane. Wow. Yeah, I can see why that did not get made. That would have been an interesting plot, though.
But yeah, I remember it was something ridiculous. I saw this like I want to say at least like 5-6 years ago, and was surprised. I was like, wait, they're making this? And then no, they're doing their own story right now. But yeah, no, overall the trailer looked good from what I saw. Like, very well made. I can't wait to watch this movie at home with the director's cut. That's what happens all the time with Ridley Scott. It's Kingdom of Heaven. You end up watching in movie theaters and you're like, oh, this sucks. And then you watch the director's cut. It's like, oh, this is awesome. Same thing with Blade Runner.
Yeah.
What do you call it? I actually enjoyed Prometheus, I'm not going to lie. But I did not like...
Oh, man. I paid money for it and felt very scammed.
I did watch it in 3D, though. So it was very cool.
Okay. Maybe that was...
It was one of the few, like, remember during that whole 3D craze, they were like making everything into 3D. So there's like called like interpolated 3D and then real 3D. Interpolated 3D is where they take the 2D and they did try to make it into 3D, which was like a cash grab. But like I think Ridley Scott made it truly like a 3D movie, like Avatar did and stuff. Like it was like right after Avatar, right, or a few years after Avatar.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So I really appreciated the special effects. So I was like, oh, not bad. I understand why you don't like, especially like how can scientists be so dumb? But then
there were a lot of plot holes in that movie, and you start piling it up, and it's a pretty big pile.
It really feels like he should have given it to like another scriptwriter or something. Be like, hey, let's clean this stuff up a little bit. The more I think about it, it was more ridiculous, but it was a good. It was a very well made.
That's true.
Movie. Yeah,
and like Michael Fassbender is always like cool to watch. So I mean, that was when he was just bursting on the scene. So I can't be too mad about the cast or the special effects, but the plot holes. It was like Swiss cheese, that movie.
That was like the Michael Fassbender era. I think he was in like Inglourious Bastards. And
that's right. Yeah, I think Prometheus was like just a couple years later.
X-Men First Class too.
Oh yeah, Magneto. Yep.
I think that was like his like little burst of like popularity. Then he married like Alicia Vikander, and then they're like, you know what? We have a good life. We don't need to act for a little bit and chill.
That's what happens. Yeah, he's been like a little bit off the radar. You're right. Since then, I saw a movie of his from last year, Hitman or The Killer.
The Killer.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, I think. Yeah,
not bad.
It was interesting. Yeah, exactly. Like, not a ton happens. It's just it's about a killer, and it's like really diving deep into psychology. It's like internal dialogue about what's going on. I think a movie that's similar to that, which I like better, is Drive, the Ryan Gosling movie. Yeah, that one's like feels a little more fresh and just like it's just better overall. But like if you like Drive and you want kind of similar kind of deal, then The Killer is a good movie.
Yeah. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't like something mind blowing. So yeah, I agree with you there. Supernatural. I liked his other movie. Was it The Last Duel with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon?
Whoa, I didn't see this movie.
It was a COVID movie, direct to Max or HBO, whichever one it was called.
Last Duel. Oh, 2021.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Oh, cool. Okay, it's like a medieval movie. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah,
that's also a flip of the coin. Either he does a medieval movie, or like in the past, or he does something in the future. Never mind. American Gangster. It's great. Oh, Denzel back with Ridley Scott. I'm excited. I'm from what I saw from the trailer, I was hyped.
I'm excited for Denzel. Denzel is like pretty much always good, and like it seems like in this movie he's not being the super serious character, because he definitely has movies like The Equalizer where his character is doing a lot of action stuff, but it's like super serious. But in the trailer, you see him like joking around, giving people high fives. So I hope you're seeing some throwback Denzel in this movie.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think like it's gonna be pretty. I think he's like letting loose a little bit in this, from what I saw from the scenes. So good to see from him. All right.
All right. Last night, we saw a really interesting horror movie, Longlegs. Zahran, do you want to like kick it off? Like your thoughts on it?
Yeah. So I was thinking about it a lot last night.
Yeah.
So one, I am very angry I missed the first 10 minutes, because I heard the first 10 minutes are probably the scariest of the movie. Which we'll be talking about later, why I missed the first 10 minutes, but
yeah. There's an interesting story there.
Yeah. I think it was very well made. I think the cinematography was impeccable. Just the background is a horror movie, with a lot of like True Detective kind of vibe there. Actually, Zach, you want to give like a summary of what Longlegs is about?
Yeah, so we have it's like a horror thriller. So it's like it's not a pure horror movie. You also have like this kind of like Silence of the Lambs story where you have an FBI agent, Lee Harker is her name. She gets assigned to this serial killer case. It's her and like another partner at the FBI. But then as the movie goes on, we realize and learn that Lee has certain connections to the killer. And then towards the end, that kind of like changes the whole story and what actually happens to take down the serial killer. So, and the movie is a mix of like, there's like a present day in the 90s, but also flashbacks to, I guess, like the 70s or 80s. So yeah, that's like the core of the movie. It's like a horror thriller.
Yeah, so thank you for the. I'm not good at summaries. So for me, I think it started really strong. I heard that the first 10 minutes was even better than when I started watching it.
Yeah.
But it is a very well made. Cinematography is great. Acting is really good. The sound design is amazing. Great. We watched it in, what is it called? Prime, AMC Prime. I guess it's another
first time doing that. Yeah.
The sound was really good in the theater. Yeah, like I was really engrossed in everything. The plot was the only weak point for me. I feel like it's a very weak plot, but that's okay. It's a horror movie for the most part, but everything else kind of carried it to be this really interesting, very good made, well-made movie. It's not as scary as people said it was. Like I think online I was hearing, oh, it's so scary, but it wasn't really. It was more like dread and like creepiness, which I like a lot more than like, just jump scares here, jump scares there. The actress was very good, very, very good. I thought it was one of the, what do you call it? What's their names? The Fannings. I thought it was one of the Fannings, but
I thought it was. I think her name's Ella Purnell from Fallout. It wasn't her, and she thought it was like the Fannings. It's actually like someone totally different.
Yeah, but she killed it. She did a very good job. I went into it blind, except for like I think like a 15-second trailer before a YouTube video or something like that.
So, and I'll just add, you were so blind that you didn't know Nicolas Cage was in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I can kind of give my view of Nicolas Cage, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, it felt too much like Nicolas Cage. But me as a person who went in blind did not know that was Nicolas Cage at all. I think he did a great job, and he was very scary, very, eccentric, but very fearful, very realistically scary too. And one thing I really appreciate about this movie, not to get too much into details, was that it's up to your interpretation whether this is supernatural or not, or if this is like a couple of people who have, mental health issues or something like that. They leave it very gray on what is exactly happening. So no, overall, I think it was a great movie. It although it has like a basic plot, everything else is just very well made, and I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I think some people on the internet are saying, "Oh, this is the scariest movie ever." And Zahran, you and I saw Midsommar, and I thought that was like much more freaky and to me much more scary.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't say that. I think dread was a really good word that you used. There's a lot of dread in this movie.
Yeah.
Really dread like what's going to happen next. You see what the main character has to do. She has to go do it, and that definitely contributes to a lot of dread. I liked the main character's performance, Lee Harker's character. Sometimes like I want a little bit more. Like she's playing a character who like is very introverted, but sometimes I'm like I just want a little bit more. I guess we saw that towards the end, but that might have helped in like the beginning and middle just to like keep things going. I really like Nicolas Cage. I know they're like critics of like his performance. Like you, I thought it was like pretty compelling, and I really enjoyed seeing his character do his thing. So yeah, for me, in terms of like where it plays in my pantheon, it's not quite like S tier, like Barbarian or Midsommar, or even like other horror thrillers like Get Out. It's like a tier or two below, maybe like an A tier instead of S tier.
Right.
But I still think it's a good movie, and I'm glad I saw it.
Nice. For me, like in terms of like, yeah, I would put it maybe like B tier, maybe A, like B plus, maybe like a B
Sure.
plus.
Yeah, fair enough.
What's it called? First Omen was, I would put in the A plus tier, maybe too. But I completely agree. I think I would put it like, yeah, like a little below Barbarian, but very good movie overall. Actually, I might no. I like Barbarian. Barbarian was like the comedy part of Barbarian inches it up a notch.
Yeah, Barbarian just has like a little bit more of that, a little more oomph going for it.
Right.
Instead of like just dread the whole time. There's like a lot of interesting ideas they tossed into that movie.
Agreed. So if you were to rank, what would you rank this movie as? Not like a tier, but like, let's say like out of 5 stars.
Oh man, the Letterboxd review. I'll go 4.
Nice.
Yeah, 4 or 5. Yeah.
I might say,
yeah.
I might say 3. No, I'll say 4. 4 stars.
Okay, cool.
Maybe 3.5 because of the plot, but yeah. You want to go into spoilers?
Sure. One more thing I'll say, in addition to what you're saying with like the plot. Yeah, sometimes they brought up interesting ideas, like maybe the mom is super right wing, and conservative, and I almost want them to like dig a little deeper there instead of switching over just to pure horror.
Right.
So there were some times where like they pulled some punches in regards to like the mythology and lore of this world, where like I want a little bit more, and instead of pivoting more towards like the creepy like evil dolls and whatnot. Did you get enough gore? Like, did you get your gore fill for the movie, or would you want more of that?
No, I'm not a fan of gore in horror movies. To be honest, like, and honestly, I feel like a lot of movies nowadays are going a little hard with gore lately. So I think this had like the right amount. I think like wherever the gross out happened, there's one particular scene where it's like very gross, so very gory. But overall, I think it was able to toe that balance between not being too much, where it's just more of like a slasher film versus being a horror film. So yeah.
That's a good nuance. Yeah. And like, honestly, I don't watch a lot of horror movies. So like, that's just like my gap. But yeah, I haven't really seen like the hardcore slasher movies or like the Freddy Krueger or Texas Roadhouse movies, or what they're called. Right. So yeah, that's like a gap for me. But from my understanding, those are way beyond the blood and gore that you see in this movie.
Yeah, I'm not actually a huge slasher fan movie. Like, I'm not a big fan of like Jason. I think it's Friday the 13th, and what else is there? Like all the those classics from like the 90s and early 2000s. I was never a fan of those. I was more into like the dread, like The Ring or like Ju-on and those kind of horror movies. Hereditary. I think if I were to pick like a top 3 out of the top of my head right now, put like Hereditary, Midsommar, and The Ring. Like those are probably like my top, like the Rushmore of horror movies, really. Maybe we can have
my brother loves Hereditary. I haven't seen it, but now I want to watch it.
if they ever do an anniversary, we should definitely go like to see it.
Okay.
They've been doing a lot of re-releases lately. I appreciate that.
Yeah, like Studio Ghibli. Well, that's like a Studio Ghibli festival, but then they also do like Godzilla reruns and other movies like shortly after they come out. That's true.
Right. Well, all right. I think you have a couple of mini reviews for us after this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, first one, Quiet Place. This is a movie I really want to advocate for because I had really low expectations for this movie. So I saw the trailer like 1,000 times and I was just convinced, okay, this is just like a cash grab. This is just like a bunch of aliens, maybe some jump scares, and we kind of know what's going to happen. So like, why are we even doing this? Why are we watching this? Like, I'm not excited about this. But actually, it's like a really thoughtful movie, and the trailer doesn't give that away. So we were talking about trailers giving away too much nowadays. This is like the opposite, where the trailer makes you think it's like just jump scares and action. But actually, there's like kind of like a thoughtful movie behind it, and I can quickly talk through it. So basically, Lupita Nyong'o, I'm not sure I'm saying her name right. She's like the main character in this movie, but actually, she's chronically ill and she has terminal illness, and so she's actually in hospice care. So for, like right off the bat, there's exactly. It's like there's like an interesting plot here. Mm-hmm. It's not just escaping New York City. You have someone who's like already like has. They don't really say what disease she has, but let's say it's maybe like cancer or something. And she's in New York City when the alien invasion happens. And so the story is about her trying to get one more slice of her favorite pizza before, you know, she dies, before it's all over, because she knows she doesn't have much longer left on Earth, which is ironic because everyone's dying around her during this alien invasion. And for us in New York City, it's a cool movie because you can kind of plot where they are, because the movie starts off in Chinatown, so that's like the bottom of Manhattan, but she grew up in Harlem, and that's where her favorite pizza slice is. So basically, we kind of track her progress all the way to Harlem. So there's certain parts of the movie where they get to like maybe like Midtown in places, or like Central Park, and so if you're in New York, you can kind of track where they are, which is interesting. And like along the way, she meets a friend. Which I don't think is mentioned at all in the trailer. And they're like, you know, they're staying quiet, but also confronting the reality that she's about to die, but he needs to leave the island. So I was like splendidly surprised and just want to say this is like maybe one of my favorite blockbusters for the summer.
I'm about to book a ticket right now for 11:30.
Amazing.
Tomorrow, never mind. Oh man, no, you sold me on it. I have to go watch it. I'm gonna go watch it for sure. Especially with the New Yorker part, like it'll be very cool to see like everything there. So awesome. Thank you for being not too spoilery about it.
Yeah. I try not to, because the trailer doesn't give away too much, but I also just want to say, yeah, there's like some really interesting elements in this movie, and there's still a lot of action. There's still plenty of like alien footage. So one problem with these movies is sometimes there's like they don't show the monster, or like they don't show the alien, and like it's so annoying because it's like, wait, but I want to see the alien. That's like why I paid for the tickets. Like there's plenty of like movie and alien footage. So like don't worry about not getting that. You'll get that in this film too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
All right. And I think you have another one for us too, right?
Yeah, so I saw another movie called Bikeriders. And so this movie, I think, is more like a 3 of 5 or 3.5 of 5 for me. So it's not a strong recommendation as Quiet Place. But I think there's still some good reasons to see it, especially if you're like really into movies or have stubs like us and just like want to go see a movie. This cast is super stacked. So it's Jodie Comer, Tom Hardy, and the new
two are pretty big names. So
yeah. So those are the big names, and then the new guy, Austin Butler.
Austin
Still,
wow.
Yeah, so still fresh off like Dune 2, Elvis, etc. This is like now another Austin Butler movie, and so I think like the good parts of this movie that I liked. One is that I haven't really seen many movies in this genre. This used to be a huge Hollywood genre of like motorcycle club movies. If you go back to like the 60s and 70s, a lot of Hollywood was about these movies of men joining the motorcycle club and rebelling against society. And so this is kind of like a throwback of those movies. It also begins kind of like Goodfellas, where you have like one character narrating what happens, and it immediately like takes you into like where Jodie Comer's character first sees Austin Butler's character, which is like cool, but also it's a tough thing when you immediately compare yourself to Goodfellas, because Goodfellas is like a goat movie, right? So like if you're not a goat, then like you're immediately like not going to look as good. And unfortunately, I think that happens a little bit in this movie. But I mean, you know, it's cool to see like the motorcycle club life. It doesn't get as deep as Goodfellas or those other movies, but I mean, it's cool to see Austin Butler do his thing. Tom Hardy is always fun to watch. So yeah, again, I think it's like a 3.5 of 5 stars for me.
Cool. Awesome. I mean, yeah, the cast sounds very star-studded, so might give that a shot. I'm more interested in Quiet Place though.
Yeah, I think if you have to choose one, definitely choose Quiet Place. And then also Jodie Comer, who I really like from Killing Eve. She plays like the bad guy in Killing Eve, the TV show. She's like the Russian agent. She has like a really annoying accent in this movie, and it's kind of hard to like get past it because it's like so nasally, and you know she doesn't actually sound like that. So I think that's also a minus, and maybe not why this movie isn't quite perfect, but you can see what the director is going for.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I'll do that.
So last night you were 40 minutes late to the movie. You want to talk more about that?
Yeah, I'm very shocked that I missed only 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So by the way, AMC, holy crap, man, you guys need to cut down on commercials. I mean, it was great for me.
So crazy. It was so nuts, like how many trailers there were.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, I'm just like, wait, the movie hasn't started yet? Because you're like, I think you first messaged saying like, oh, Nicole Kidman hasn't showed up. In my brain, I'm like, oh, the movie must have started. So I guess Nicole Kidman's in this movie. I had no idea.
Nicole,
well, you were talking about that.
The
whole,
yeah.
You know, movies, beautiful. We all live for the movies.
Right.
All that stuff. But yeah, so I started. My ETA showed me coming at 5:55. The movie starts at 6, or the movie starts at 6. I was 40 minutes late. I think I got there at what, like 6:35, like 6:35-ish.
Yeah.
And then what happened was faulty line in the subway, and I was stuck. Like each stop took like 10 minutes to get to, which is ridiculous. It's usually like a 30, especially to AMC Empire from where I live, is like a 35-minute subway ride max.
Yeah.
So the fact that it took, and the funny part is that I was going to drive because I was like, oh, you know, like I'll drive, but you know what? It's faster to take the train, which was a smart move initially, but not so much. But yeah, so what I'm going to say now, which I've been against this entire time, is that we should definitely bring back congestion pricing. The MTA needs some money. Very bad. I'm fairly sure it's because I think the elections are coming up, and there's a lot of down ballot races, especially for congressmen and people in Long Island, upstate. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of conservatives like we're going to run ads like, oh, congestion pricing, this is this kind of stuff liberals want. So I think Kathy Hochul, to save a lot of Democrats in like very rural New York congressional districts, I think she did that so like they don't have that ammo during the election cycle. That's what I think personally.
It makes sense because like I think a lot of people, especially in those counties or those areas, are like really sensitive to like cost of living. Mm-hmm. So it's like inflation, and then you have New York City adding congestion pricing. So I totally hear it. Mm-hmm. I will say like this has been in the works for 15 years. Like Mayor Bloomberg like got the ball rolling, and we were like at the finish line, and to call it off was just so crazy. Mm-hmm, but I hope it comes back. I mean, there's definitely a lot of things that are put on pause because congestion pricing stopped, like extending the subway, adding elevators for people who can't use the stairs, just general maintenance, which like we kind of saw last night is really needed. Right. So man, welcome to Team Congestion Pricing.
Yeah. Yeah. But honestly, it makes sense. Like just park. I think it's still cheaper if you were to like park in Queens and then take the subway from Queens to the city.
That's a good
Because
point.
unless you want to go through Queensboro Bridge, which I do sometimes if I'm going to like Central Park area, but for like it's definitely cheaper because the subway going back and forth, I think it's like $6-7 to take the Midtown Tunnel. So just take the subway at this point. Like it'll be cheaper for you. So yeah, I'm very indifferent. Like not indifferent. I'm on team congestion pricing now for sure.
Sure. Yeah. Either way. I mean, I will say one thing that I wish they had done a little better was selling the benefit of the program. Because, like, I think, like, just raising money for MTA, like, you're not going to convince many people because people are like, oh, MTA already wastes so much money. I wish they'd been like, oh, if this doesn't happen, then, like, this bridge doesn't get built or this subway line will not get built out. I think they could have been, like, more clear about, like, what the value is. Because yeah, it's like a real fee. And they arrived at that fee because they're like, oh, we need to raise this much money. And so if you do like the number of cars, just do the division, it got to like what is like $15 per day.
Right.
So yeah, I think they could have done a better job of selling the benefit, and maybe that would have made it a little safer. But hope it comes back. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into like. No, I'm not trying to make this into a political podcast.
Yeah,
it's always the same thing. Liberals will always mess up messaging. They're always terrible.
That's so true.
Since I was born, they're just awful at it. Like, oh, look at all these accomplishments. They don't know how to say it out loud. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And on that note, do you have any other weekly recommendations to cap this off? Do you have anything?
Yeah. I just gotta say, I got YouTube Premium like 2 months ago, and like obviously I love YouTube, but now I've been like supplanting my podcast to different talks I'm seeing on YouTube and using it as like a podcast player. So I saw recently on social media that YouTube is the biggest podcasting app now, and like yeah, we put our podcast on YouTube, but like now I'm like also like listening to other like podcasts on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I think YouTube Premium makes that easy because if you have YouTube Premium, you can like turn off the screen and put your phone in your pocket and just listen to whatever video you're watching. Right. So yeah, YouTube Premium, if you don't have it, like it's like an A+ subscription. And then also on top of that, I got kicked off of my Spotify family plan because don't tell Spotify, I wasn't living with the person whose family I was in. That guy is in Seattle. Yeah.
Spotify does that too?
They just started doing it this year.
That's
so
cool.
I was on this plan for years. Yeah. So this is my first roommate in San Francisco. So we were roommates like 6-7 years ago. I joined his family plan, and every year I would just pay him like $70 or whatever for Spotify. Mm-hmm. But then finally, 2 months ago, Spotify was like, hey, you have 1 month to confirm your address. And I put in his address. We were texting, and Spotify was like, nope, you're wrong. And I was like, what do you mean? I'm right. And then I thought maybe it would just resolve itself. But yeah, they kicked me off the plan. Damn. So now I don't have Spotify anymore. Right now I'm just rolling with YouTube Music, which comes included with YouTube Premium. And like, it's like not as good as Spotify, obviously, but you know, like it gets the job done.
Yeah, if it's included, might as well.
Yeah.
I didn't know that YouTube Premium comes with YouTube Music. That's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
So I actually used Google Play Music, YouTube Music for a long, long time. I used to pay for it, and then I think I stopped paying for it because I actually had a lot of like local music, and you were able to upload it directly, and I still do. I have all my local music that I uploaded to YouTube Music right now at this moment. So I do use YouTube Music to listen to like some really old remixes or mashups that I used to have when I was in college and stuff. So no, hats off to YouTube Music. Really like it. Good stuff. My weekly recommendation, I don't even know. Let me see. What did I even watch? Hitman. That was really good.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I haven't seen that one. That's the Glenn Powell movie?
Yeah, the Glenn Powell movie. Nice. I guess we should have talked about this earlier, but that's all
good.
Go
for it.
No, it was really good. It's I would say I don't know if you watch Anything But You or Anyone But You.
No, I didn't see it.
That was the one that was like very overhyped, right? Like,
Right.
Sydney, what's her name?
Sydney Sweeney.
Sydney Sweeney. What's it called? She cannot act in that movie. I don't know. I mean, she was good in Euphoria. I think she was great in Euphoria. She couldn't act in this movie at all. Anything, anyone but you. The title is as forgettable as her performance was.
Right.
But Glenn Powell was great in that movie, but it was very generic rom-com, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
This movie, though, although it's also a rom-com, I think the plot was great. I think Glenn Powell crushed it. I think this is probably the best performance I saw from Glenn Powell.
Cool.
He plays a lot of different roles as like the hitman and everything like that. And then the co-lead, I forgot what her name is. I think she was in Andor as well, actually.
Let me see.
Adrian
yeah.
Arjona.
Yeah.
So yeah, she did a great job, and I think she's a way better actress than Sydney Sweeney. I don't really compare, but I feel like every year, like there's always two movies that are very similar to each other, like White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen,
right?
Stuff like that. So yeah, Deep Impact, Armageddon. So yeah, I think that was a great movie. I think it's based on a true story. I didn't know that until at the very end, where they're like based on a true story. So I was like, oh, cool. So yeah, great acting. It was nice to see. What's his name? Retta? Yeah, Retta from Parks and Rec. There's another actor in it. His name was, I think, Sanjay Rao.
Sanjay Rao. Hey.
Yeah. So I mean, if we were gonna cast a brown guy for the role, I wish it was Aziz Ansari. So then it would have been Retta and Aziz Ansari again, back in the same screen from Parks and Rec days.
But yeah, overall, true.
Yeah. Overall, I'd give this a 4 out of 5 stars. Great movie, good plot, good dialogue, great performance from Glenn Powell. I think Glenn Powell stole the show in that.
Yeah, and it's a Richard Linklater movie, so you got a solid team behind the camera as well. So that's cool. You saw it. Yeah, that's like on my to-watch list. Hopefully, I'll get to it by the end of the summer. I want to watch Twister if you want to go see it. And it has Glenn Powell.
Yeah, I'm down to go see that.
Cool. Definitely. Yeah, I want to see that. We were talking. This is for next episode. Are like Stubs complaints, but I think we're both going to quit. I think we're going to quit at the end of next month or end of this month. So let's be sure to get in Twister and Deadpool.
Yeah, honestly, Stubs has been great. It's not really a complaint about Stubs. It's more about a complaint at the end of the year where there's not really that many movies.
Yeah, that's the better way of putting it.
Yeah. But no, I think AMC Stubs was the best one we've had. Dude, I didn't get my popcorn for my birthday.
Oh, wait, what?
I was late. I was going to get popcorn, and yeah, you get free popcorn and drink during your birthday month.
I got that, but then I guess your birthday was
on the 9th. Yeah, July.
Okay, so yeah. But then, you're just saying we need to go back and get it.
Yeah, cool.
Yes, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Definitely.
And then yes, I think we're good for today, right? I think we got everything off the list.
Yeah, just if you got to this point, please subscribe. And we'll be back soon with another update, and then eventually a summer blockbuster episode.
Yes, I think we were a little premature when we said we were going to do a blockbuster episode next week because there's still a lot of movies to come out.
Yeah,
Wolverine, Deadpool.
Right, exactly. Yeah, maybe like closer to Labor Day, we'll do something.
Yeah, I think Labor Day is a good cap off of the summer.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right, until next time. Cheers.
Until next time. See you. Bye.